Tonight's clip exposes something that should alarm anyone who still believes the Department of Justice is supposed to operate above insider politics, a long-running professional relationship turned personal friendship between Jack Smith and senior DOJ official Marshall Miller, stretching back to their time together in the Eastern District of New York and resurfacing just as Smith was positioned for one of the most powerful roles in Washington. We're talking about a pattern that raises serious questions all at once. Old ties, private access, congratulatory outreach, signals about wanting back into DOJ, a sudden October 2022 trip to Washington, closed-door meetings with top DOJ leadership, and a friend helping arrange the path. That is exactly the kind of timeline that makes people wonder whether the public got an independent process or a pre-wired appointment built through connections behind the scenes. And when these details start getting laid out, the denials come fast, the answers get careful, and the whole thing starts to look less like transparency and more like damage control. Stay with me, because in the next clip, Jamie Raskin is about to reveal details that could blow this story wide open. So hit like, subscribe, and let's get into it.
The gentleman from Wisconsin is recognized.
Mr. Smith, there's something that's really bothering me since your deposition. It's how and why you got the position of special counsel and your personal relationship with Marshall Miller. Let's go back to 1999 when you were working for the United States Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York. Is that when you first met Marshall Miller?
Yes.
So after ED New York, did the two of you ever work together again prior to becoming special counsel? According to the public bios for you and Mr. Miller, you overlapped at DOJ from 2014-15 when you were chief of DOJ's Public Integrity Section and Mr. Miller was chief of staff for DOJ's Criminal Division. Is that accurate?
I believe that is accurate, yes.
Okay, so were the two of you social outside of work?
I would say intermittently, yes.
Okay, but after 20 years of knowing each other, it's safe to say you were friends, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so let's fast forward to 2022. Mr. Miller is appointed Principal Associate Deputy Attorney General at DOJ, the number 3 at DOJ. You call your friend to congratulate him, and according to the deposition transcript, you say you'd be interested in a position at DOJ. Is that correct?
Yes. What I recall is that I expressed an interest if the right position came up, I would be interested in considering.
But at that point, there's no discussion about special counsel. Is that correct?
This is some time ago, and so I don't have a specific recollection of all these conversations.
So you were first approached about special counsel and that role before the 22 midterm elections. And according to the deposition transcript in October of 2022, you fly to DC, meet with the AG and the Deputy Attorney General. Is that correct?
Yes, I flew to DC, I believe it was in October, and I met the Deputy Attorney General, and also I met the Attorney General.
So in multiple conversations with your friend Marshall Miller, he never once tipped you off that the Attorney General or Deputy Attorney General have you on the short list for special counsel? That never came up?
Again, this was some time ago, but my recollection is I came to Washington and I met with those individuals as well as the Human Rights Section. Marshall Miller is the person who set that up.
So he was at the meetings. Was he at the meetings? So just to tie all this together, you've known Mr. Miller since you were both AUSA in New York. You stayed in touch over a 20-year career in federal government. He gets a job with the Biden administration, and just a few short months later, you're offered the role of special counsel. I'm having a hard time believing that this is some big coincidence and that there wasn't a back and forth on the special counsel. So maybe you never received directives explicitly from the AG or the Deputy Attorney General, but was Marshall Miller, did he become a two-way conduit throughout the investigation with DOJ?
No, and I would not take direction from a political person, political figure, about how I should conduct an investigation.
But you never spoke to him throughout the entire time you were conducting the investigation?
No, I didn't say that. What I said was
that
he was, I think you asked if he was a conduit of information. He was present, to my recollection, at meetings, briefings that I had with the Attorney General and Deputy Attorney General during my time as Special Counsel.
I mean, I don't want to assume anything, but Mr. Miller wanted you in that position, not because you're necessarily the best lawyer he ever met, but because of the long-term friendship that you have with him.
What I can tell you is I have been a prosecutor for 30 years. I have been an apolitical public servant for 30 years. I've prosecuted cases against Democrats and Republicans, all the same. I've had, in my view, the experience necessary for this position, and that's why I accepted it.
So he knew that you would pursue, I mean, he had to have an idea that you would pursue exactly what the Biden administration wanted, which was criminal charges against President Trump.
I think that anybody who knows me well knows the idea that I would take direction from a political figure about how an investigation should come out. I don't think anybody who knows me thinks that's true.
Well, Chairman Jordan, I think the next deposition should be with Marshall Miller at this point. I yield back.
Gentleman yields.
And let's be brutally honest about what we just watched. This is exactly why so many people no longer trust powerful institutions when they claim everything was done by the book. When the same names keep circling back, when old friendships overlap with major appointments, when private relationships and public power collide, and when the answers sound more like carefully rehearsed damage control than clear transparency, people have every right to ask hard questions. That is not extremism. That is accountability. And if the people in charge are offended by scrutiny, too bad. Public office is not a private club, and the Department of Justice is not supposed to operate like a friends and favors network hidden behind polished talking points. The issue here is bigger than one man, one meeting, or one title. It's about whether the system is honest with the public, whether power is being used fairly, and whether insiders are quietly protecting insiders while ordinary Americans are told to just sit down, be quiet, and trust the process. No, that era is over. The public is watching now, and the receipts matter. If you're tired of the spin, tired of the selective outrage, and tired of watching political elites act like they're untouchable, then this channel is where we keep pressing, keep documenting, and keep exposing the contradictions they hope you ignore. We are not here to babysit narratives. We are here to break them apart, line by line, and show exactly where the story stops making sense. That only works if this community stays strong, loud, and engaged. So if you want more deep breakdowns, more hard-hitting commentary, and more videos that challenge powerful people instead of protecting them, then do not scroll away and do not stay silent. Hit like so this video gets pushed to more viewers, subscribe so you don't miss the next breakdown, and drop your take in the comments. Because your voice matters in this fight for transparency. Share this video with someone who still believes these appointments happen in a vacuum. Let's make sure this conversation gets too big to ignore. Keep your eyes open, keep asking questions, and keep demanding answers, because the moment the public stops paying attention is the moment the insiders win.